What are the residents saying?
Good morning, Desiree, and to our viewers. Certainly, we've been crisscrossing the capital city just to get the, reactions from the various residents in Tshwane after the elections. And I think the most important is to find out what are their expectations from the administration that will be taking over the reins of Tshwane soon. So here in Eersterust as well, we're speaking to people, of course, this area being a DA stronghold, but we have seen other political parties, newcomers like the Patriotic Alliance, of course, Action SA also making strong inroads. The ANC, the EFF, the FF Plus also campaigned here. So it was really a strong race that took place here in the heart of Eersterust, and the top the two top political parties being the DA and the Patriotic Alliance that backed the majority of the votes. Of course, as you mentioned, the DA took most of them. But we want to speak to the residents here. We've seen the complaints over the years and really during the build-up to the elections. Many of them saying that they're not happy with the status quo. They're not happy about service delivery. Now, Eersterust has been under the rule of the DA for years now, but the people of Eersterust has given them yet again the mandate to govern this particular township. Let's speak to a youth and find out how does he feel, how is his life impacted, and what is he hoping for the future. Thank you so much for joining us. As a young person living in Eersterust, what's your reality? What are your expectations? How is life for you?
Life in Eersterust is a little bit tough for us as youth, but the thing is, for people that's gonna take charge as new leaders in our leadership, we expect from them to be more persistent, and they should come more often through to us so that we can get to what they promised us, like jobs. We ain't got like proper, like it's poverty out here. It's sad for us to stay around here in such areas.
Did you vote?
I never vote because it makes me, the reason I never went to vote was these political things makes me even feel like, what's the use of voting?
Because you're not really getting much out of the democratic project. The elections, you believe, has not really changed your life as a young man?
Never. You know, the thing is that the people who is in power now are the ones that's just sitting back and making promises. And us, we're expecting from them, and they never came back with proper feedback. So that makes me like...
There's a new leadership on the cards. What would you ask from them? What do you expect from them to make your life better?
From them, we heard about them saying that they can give us job opportunities and stuff like that. It's been promises we heard from way back, and we expect them to just put it on the table and say yes, the jobs and stuff like that, because we are tired.
Thank you so much. Let's speak to another resident, Veronica here. She is a part of the Patriotic Alliance, as we said, a newcomer that really emerged very strongly here in Eersterust. But despite a lot of people in Eersterust who had put their support behind the Patriotic Alliance, the DA still took the majority of votes. And you said that is because there's a demarcation issue that has also influenced the votes. Just tell us more about that.
Okay, when the process of the demarcation was held earlier last year, it was proposed that part of Kersies and Nantas be allocated through to Mamelodi, and during the consultation processes we strongly advised against it because we wanted to keep Ward 43 together. And then a consensus was reached that they will take Voeltjiedorp, that was part of part of Ward 43, back into Silverton, and then they will give us a portion of Eastland, Janimar Park, Swan Avenue. That will at least would have kept the whole of Ward 43 together, and then we get the portion of Eastland, Swanstraat portion back into Ward 43. That portion played a very strong part in the voters turnout because that is predominantly a DA stronghold. And then what happened was when the people voted, you could clearly see by the different VDs that most of the voters really voted for change. They voted for the PA. There were just 3, 4, 5 votes that went over, or we were neck or neck in the VDs. But the portion of Eastland, most of the voters voted DA. That put them over the edge. But I would like to say to the DA administration in Eersterust, we would like to work together to make this a better place. And if we are really serious about taking our community to the next level, we have to work together. And the 5 years that empty promises were made and nothing was kept, it is over. We would like to see our community change. The people clearly showed it by voting for change, and they are serious about change. Let's work together and take our community to the next level.
But let's talk about that demarcation issue. Although, yes, it did influence how the voting panned out, it also seems like people in Eersterust are preferring the DA. And over the years, we understand that Eersterust has been under a DA. It seems like that is what people here prefer. Now, I want to talk about the issue of services. As much as the DA has been in charge of Eersterust, the messages, the complaints that we have heard coming out of this community over the years about poor service delivery, we have seen the protests and so forth, the land issue, the lack of housing in Eersterust being, top of the agenda. I mean, we know that the land grab that took place here, where, of course, people decided that they're going to take matters into their own hands because there's just no new houses that are being developed. The DA has been in charge when all these issues have played out. We talked about, roads being impacted, the sewerage being impacted as well, residents that we have spoken to. The question is, with the DA's performance over the years in Eersterust, why are people still putting their confidence in the DA?
To tell you the truth, I have no idea, because the track record has clearly shown that they cannot handle this ward. They have disappointed the people, I would say, over a number of 10, 15 years, because all the previous councillors were DA councillors, and they also failed this community to a certain extent. It just perpetuated when the last DA councillor could not even do the simple and the basic things like keeping up with the infrastructure, your service delivery, people complaining about the high billing system. And I mean, it's a DA councillor, the administration is DA. The process of helping the people should have been much more smoother than being a DA councillor with an ANC administration and vice versa. So I could not understand why they couldn't even do the simplest of things for the community. I hope and I pray that the DA councillor will make a real impact and a real change, because the track record wasn't good. And I hope the people must not complain, because they went to the voting stations and they voted for the DA. So they should not complain, because if they really want to change, they should have shown it at the polls on Monday.
Right, thank you so much. And that is really the message. If they want to change, they should have shown it at the polls, because the power of change lies in voting. And in Tshwane, of course, we saw the poor voter turnout. Many people that we spoke to expressing their dissatisfaction and saying that they're actually angry at the governing party. And as they're angry, they're still not willing to really share their vote with another political party. They don't want to give another political power, their proxy, to govern. So this has really impacted a whole lot of communities. But nevertheless, now the future lies ahead. And Tshwane will be under an administration, under a coalition, as there was no outright majority from any of the political parties. And people in Hammanskraal, for instance, that we spoke to yesterday, saying that they don't have confidence in a coalition, because over the past 5 years it brought them no change. They're still in the grip of the water crisis. There are people in Mamelodi saying that they don't see any change. But people are saying this is what it is, and they just hoping that whoever takes over the reins of Tshwane can prioritize the needs of people on the ground, and that comes through proper quality service delivery. From now, let's toss it back to studio.
Patricia Visagie there for you, and I know everyone is looking ahead, but here on the agenda we just want to harken back a bit and just ask you, if you didn't vote, why didn't you go and exercise your democratic right? Let us know.